Sit here. Give me that. No, do it this way. Come with me. If you live with a 1- or 2-year-old, you hear this all day long. It can feel like you share your home with a tiny commander, and it's easy to land on one thought: my child is trying to control me. You might call it bossy. But here's the surprising part. When your toddler orders everyone around, they usually aren't fighting you for control at all. They're doing something much smaller and much more important. So let's decode it together, because once you see what's really going on, this whole phase gets easier. There are 5 things hiding behind those little commands. We'll walk through all 5 and then exactly what to do about it. Let's start with the first. Reason 1. Your child just became their own person. Somewhere around the first birthday and into the 2nd year, a huge shift happens inside them. Your toddler realizes they are separate from you, with their own body, their own will, and their own loud no. The psychologist Erik Erikson called this the age of autonomy. The main job now is simple: to feel some control over their own actions and choices. That's where "I do it myself" comes from. But here's the catch. Your child wants to run their whole world, and they can barely run their words yet. They can't explain what they need, so the will is huge and the tools are tiny. And what pours out of that gap is orders. It isn't defiance, it's a brand new person, testing what being a person feels like. Which brings us to reason 2. Your toddler is a little scientist testing cause and effect. Not with test tubes, with you. Around this age, children build what researchers call a sense of agency, the growing feeling that my actions make things happen. And once a child feels that, they start trying it on purpose. Push the cup, and it falls. Every time. And then comes the most fascinating experiment of all. Say a word to a person and watch what they do. In your toddler's mind, the question is real. If I say, "Daddy, sit here," will Daddy actually sit? Each command is a tiny test of the same thrilling idea. I can make something happen. So when your child bosses you, part of what you're seeing is research. They're checking whether the world, including you, really responds to them. Okay, reason 3. Words just turned into a superpower. There's a reason the bossy phase and the talking phase arrive together. Somewhere between 18 and 24 months, most toddlers hit a language explosion. New words pour in, sometimes several in a single week, and your child makes a discovery that changes everything. Words aren't just sounds. Words are tools. One word, up, and someone lifts them. One word, more, and more appears. To a brand new talker, that's astonishing power. So they use it again and again, testing which words work and how well. A command isn't your child being harsh, it's your child holding a shiny new tool and trying it on everything within reach. Now, reason 4, and this one is easy to miss. To your toddler, control feels like safety. Think about their day. The world is huge, fast, and mostly decided by other people. They don't choose when to leave, what to eat, or where to go. That's a lot of not in charge for one small person. So they reach for the pieces they can hold. Maria Montessori noticed that young children crave order. The same routine, the same cup, everything in its place. Order makes the world predictable, and predictable feels safe. This is also why the commands get louder when your child is tired, hungry, or off their usual schedule. When they feel wobbly on the inside, they grab for control on the outside. So some of that bossiness isn't your child feeling powerful at all. It's a small hand reaching for solid ground. And that leads to our 5th and final reason, the one that surprises most parents. You may have heard that little kids are simply selfish, that they only think about themselves. That's not quite true, and the real story is far more interesting. Understanding that other people have their own wants is a skill that grows in steps. Around age 2, your child is only just beginning to grasp that you might want something different than they do. Truly understanding that you think differently, not just want differently, usually doesn't click until around age 4. So when your toddler demands you play their exact way right now, they're not ignoring your feelings on purpose. The part of the mind that says, "Wait, the other person wants something too," is still being built. And this changes everything about how we respond. Because you can't correct a skill your child doesn't have yet. You can only help it grow. So what do you actually do with all of this? There are 2 easy traps. Obey every command, and your child learns that orders are how people work. Crush every command, and you're in a daily power struggle, and shame is the opposite of what this stage needs. The real move sits in the middle. Give your child real control with clear edges. Here's what that looks like. First, hand over real choices inside your limits. Red cup or blue cup? Coat on in the kitchen or by the door? 2 options, both fine with you. Your child gets to steer, and you decide the road. Second, be clear about what is a choice and what isn't. If it's truly their choice, ask it as a question. If it isn't, say it as a calm fact, not a question with "okay" on the end. It's time to buckle up is a fact. Let's buckle up, okay? Is an opening for a fight you didn't mean to start. Third, teach the words you want to hear. Your child commands because it's the only tool they have, so hand them a better one. You can say, "Mommy, please can you help me?" Then respond warmly the moment they try. You're not just stopping the order, you're upgrading it. And fourth, keep the day predictable. Same rough routine and a small warning before changes. 2 more slides, then we go. When the day feels steady, your child doesn't need to grab for control because they already have some. Underneath all 4 is one simple idea. Your child's words should land. When they speak and something happens, kindly, within your limits, they learn the thing they were really asking all along. My voice matters. Someone hears me. That isn't spoiling your child. It's the exact lesson this age is reaching for. So remember those commands from the very start. Sit here. Give me that. Now you know what's underneath them. Not a tiny tyrant. A brand new person, testing that their words are real and reaching for a world that feels safe. Your toddler isn't trying to be the boss. They're still learning how people and words and love all work. I'd love to know in the comments, what's the one command your little one gives you all day long? And if you try just one thing this week, make it this. The next time your child barks an order, don't obey it and don't shut it down. Offer 2 small choices instead and watch what happens. If this made your little one make a bit more sense today, subscribe to hear more. We explain what your child is doing and why.